Hello and welcome to a new reading vlog. It is actually Wednesday, December 2nd. I haven't started this vlog yet, but I have done some reading. I am reading Air Fire by Sarah J. Maas, which I was reading in my last reading vlog, even though I said I was going to finish it in November, but I didn't. I didn't. So here we are. I am about 200 pages in, page 216. It's finally picking up. It was the whole first, honestly, the first 200 pages were very slow. Like, some things happened, but nothing really significant. But I met Aiden. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but I really am liking him, and I'm very interested to see where that plot goes. And then there's another new character, Manon Blackbeak, which I know from like seeing her name online and stuff. She's interesting. I don't like her yet. I feel like I will eventually because I know things that happen later in the series, because I kind of know a lot of spoilers for the series, but she doesn't have any feelings. Like, she has no sympathy for people, and I really don't vibe with that. So I really don't like evil characters. Not that she's evil, but I don't think she's good yet either. But I'm very intrigued by her powers and like the witch coven thing. I feel like the whole witch coven war thing that's going on has no place in this world. They feel like two completely different stories, but we'll see where that goes. And then there's another character. She's a healer in the castle, and I really, really like her. And I hope she doesn't get killed. I hope she gets to be a really interesting character, because I think she could be a love interest for Dorian. Her name is Sorsha. I love her, and she's just like, she's a common person. She's one of the healers in the castle, and she helped Dorian when he got punched or cut or something, I don't know. And then she knows about his magic, and she's keeping it a secret for him. So I have a lot of hope for her. I hope that sentence doesn't come back to haunt me, because I really want her to be a long-term character, because honestly right now I'm more invested in her than Selena or anyone else. Dorian I'm more interested in right now because I don't know, he's not really doing anything, but I'm interested to see where his magic stuff goes. Kaol isn't really doing anything, except he's now made an interesting alliance with Aiden. Don't know if I'm saying that right again. And then Selena really hasn't done much of anything. She's been trying to practice shifting with Rowan, who is apparently still her cousin. He said, there was a quote in here somewhere where he said they're very distantly related and they barely share any blood. But I'm like, what if we just left that out? What if we just hadn't put that in here? Like, Sarah J. Maas made that decision, and it's gonna bother me the rest of the series. I'm sorry. But yeah. So Selena hasn't really done anything. They did just fight off some skinwalkers, which were terrifying. And once again, I'd just like to say that Sarah J. Maas's books are not YA. You literally cannot convince me that these books are young adult, that they are made, because to me, young adult starts at like 13. I started reading young adult when I was in like 5th grade. If I had read this in the 5th grade, absolutely not. That would be traumatizing. The skinwalkers kill people, skin them alive, and then sew their skin onto them. That is not appropriate for a 13-year-old, in my opinion. So it bothers me that these books are marketed YA. Throne of Glass and A Court of Thorns and Roses, I don't think they're appropriate. I would say 16 plus, then we're fine. Like, because a lot of the times the sex scenes aren't that intense. Maybe that's just because I read romance, but like even then some parents might not want their children reading that. But for me it's the violence and the gore. And I guess I'm pretty sensitive to like violence and gore. I don't like it, but it's intense in these books and I don't think it's quite appropriate for a young adult, but that's just me. Maybe there's way more violent books out there and this is actually really light stuff and I'm just a baby, which is totally possible. That is. I'm never reading those super scary gory books though, so this is as gory as I get. But that's my reading update. I'm also reading My Fake Rake by Eva Lee on audiobook, but I'm like an hour in and I haven't finished, but I will get to that later this week. My main goal right now is to finish Heir of Fire finally. So that is my update. I will update you later when I am hopefully farther into that. Hello, I just wanted to update real quick before my camera dies, but it is Friday. I don't know what the date is, the 5th, I don't know. But I finished Heir of Fire last night, late last night. I stayed up till like 2 a.m. finishing this book. I liked it. I'm a little confused why people say this is their favorite because nothing happened. It was very much a filler book. While I see the vision being set up for the rest of the series and I'm excited to get to that, nothing happened in this book. So it's like a 3 out of 5 stars, I think, for me. And the one highlight of the book for me that I liked, which I said in my last update, was Sorsha, whatever her name is. And if you've read this, you know how that goes, which I'm so mad about. I'm so mad about it because, one, Dorian's been through a lot of stuff and he deserves 1 ounce of happiness, but no, Sarah J Maas could not give him just that. So yay. But I'm excited to see where this is going. I'm excited for Celaena to be returning to Rithfold, and I'm excited for the relationship between her and Rowan, even though we're just gonna ignore the cousin thing. It just doesn't exist. It's not a thing in my book. He has pledged his allegiance to her. I think that'll be interesting. I think it'll be interesting to see her come into herself as queen and see where that goes. The king, still evil. I'm so mad about Sorsha. I just don't understand why that had to happen. Why? She was so good. She just had a good heart. It's funny, in the first book I hated Dorian and I didn't trust him at all, and then in the second one I was like, okay. But in this one I literally think I cared about Dorian more than anyone else. I don't know when that happened, but he was the only interesting character in this book. Celaena was going through some things that were kind of annoying to read sometimes because she was so mopey. Good reasons to be mopey, I just wasn't feeling it. Chaol I still love, but again, there's a lot going on in his world, so. But I'm excited for him to get to develop his character further. The biggest critique I have of this book, other than the cousins, is I don't think Man in Blackbeak should have been introduced in this book because she offered nothing to the story, and she didn't get a story. She was all exposition, introduction, and it didn't make any sense. I had no investment in her. I cared more about her dragon thing than I did her. And I just think that while I understand she probably is going to be a big player in this upcoming big continent-wide war because the witches are going to be involved, I didn't like her introduction in this book. I just didn't think it was necessary. I think we could have cut this book down 150, 200 pages by cutting her out and introducing her later when she actually meets one of the main characters. She should have been introduced when she met Celaena, Dorian, or Chaol. I just think that would make a lot more sense, but whatever. Also, I think I was supposed to read The Assassin's Blade first because I looked it up and it came out first by a couple months, I think, and she started referencing the story with Sam, and I know that's what Assassin's Blade is about, but I don't know what happened. And so there were these really, I think, supposed to be impactful scenes that were really sad, and I was just like, wait, who is he again? What does that have to do with anything? So I'm gonna have to go get Assassin's Blade and read that. I don't know if I want to though, because I just want to move on to Queen of Shadows and find out what Celaena's up to, but so we'll see if I read that or not. Maybe I can find the audiobook. Speaking of audiobook, I did listen to this one, and an absolutely phenomenal narrator. I loved her. It was just an okay book. It was an okay book. It was enough to keep me going, but it was very meh. nothing happened. Nothing happened. Although these sad scenes at the end with Selena were quite rough, her flashbacks. And once again remind me that this book should not be shelved YA. I'm just saying. But that's my update. Finished. 3 out of 5 stars. Look, my battery just died on my camera and I just want to finish this update without having to wait for it to charge. I'm reading Lore by Alexander Bracken next. I'm very excited. It's an arc. It comes out next month, January of 2021. I'm very excited to get started on this, and I will update you more when I start this and charge my camera battery. Hello, a reading update from Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday the 7th. It is the start of the Disney Channel Games Readathon, and I finished my first book for that. I'm using this for my TBR of the Disney Channel Readathon games. I did go out of order with their challenges. They have it like the 6th through the 8th, you do this challenge, and then the 8th through the 10th, you do this challenge, and I don't have the mental capacity to think about it like that. I just have my TBR for the week, and I'm going to read what I feel like reading. I'm not very good at like sticking exactly to things like that, but I finished My Fake Rake by Eva Lee. I also got a physical copy of it yesterday. I went to Half Price Books and they happen to have this, and I just could not resist picking it up. I am giving this a 5 out of 5 stars. I absolutely adored it. It was such a sweet story and just so cute. I loved the characters. The ending, I will say, very cheesy ending, but I loved it so much. It was like the equivalent like of when you see in a rom-com movie where like one of the characters runs to the airport and wants to catch the other person in the airport. It was like that, but ships instead of airplanes, but it was so good. It was so cute. I love the intellectual component of this story with these two characters and their studies. I think it's so interesting. And yeah, I just really enjoyed it. I cannot wait for the live show to talk about it. It's going to be Crystal Bookish Life, the Book Refuge, and the author. So I am very excited to watch it and just talk all about this amazing book. I definitely will be picking up more of this author's. The character that I was, like side character that I was most interested, he actually has the next book in this series, and it's Would I Lie to the Duke. It says coming in 2020, so it must be out. I just haven't seen it around yet, and it wasn't at the bookstore because this was the only one by her there, but I definitely will be looking to see if my library possibly has it, because I really want to read his story, because he just was so like, he wanted happiness so bad. He's always been treated as like this. It's the Duke of Rotherby. He has always been treated like he's just the rich guy, like everyone always wants something for him, but no one ever wants to like really get to know him. So I think his story will be really good. I'm excited. But yeah, 5 out of 5 stars. One of my new favorite historical romances. I really enjoyed it. Now my plans for today, I'm going to wrap some of my, or all of my Christmas presents, almost all of them actually, and then I have some other just sort of chores and things to do, and then I will continue reading Lore by Alexander Bracken. By continue reading, I mean I've read the prologue and I want to keep going. I did not realize that it is a like contemporary fantasy, urban fantasy. It takes place in New York City, and there's a bunch of gods and like Greek gods. It's gonna be so much fun. It feels like it's gonna be like more grown-up Percy Jackson almost, so I'm very excited to start reading. And that does cover my alphabet goop thing for Disney Channel Readathon. I'm very excited to keep reading, but for now I'm gonna go pack some Christmas presents. Hello, I thought I would do one more update. It is Saturday the 12th now, so I will close out this reading vlog. I really slacked on updating this reading vlog because I was really slacking on reading, if I'm being honest. But I'm about halfway through Some Like It Wild by Teresa Medeiros. I'm on chapter 13. I don't know if I showed you guys this step back, but like, oh my god, I love this step back. And I just got this new Christmas bookmark from an Etsy shop from this guy I found on TikTok who makes bookmarks. I will link him below because I really like them. I'm really enjoying this so far. It's a very funny and just such a unique premise, at least not one that I've come across thus far. It is about Pamela Darby, who they get like run off the road by this criminal type guy. He's planning on robbing them, but then they kind of trick him into pretending to be a part of their scheme where it's kind of like Anastasia, if you've ever seen that, so in Anastasia, Dimitri gets Anya to pretend to be the lost Duchess Anastasia, and they're going to go to the Grand in Paris and collect the reward for finding Anastasia. It is that exact premise, but instead she and her sister get this Highland brute to pretend to be the long lost Duke of, or son of this Duke, I think, or whoever, and that is where they are at now. They're at the Duke's house. He might not be a Duke, that might not be the word, but it's not important. And there is a really undeniable chemistry between her and him, and it's a lot of fun because he also just said he pretended that they were engaged in front of his fake dad, and so now they have to pretend to be engaged, which she was not happy about that being thrown into the plan. But it's a really funny book so far. Very steamy, and not even that much has happened yet, but like the way the tension is written in this book is so good. So I'm really enjoying this. I meant to finish this days ago, but here I am. And then a book I also meant to finish was Lore by Alexander Bracken. I am 112 pages in. I am really enjoying it. It is a little bit confusing, I'm not going to lie. I don't know if I can like show you any of the stuff on the inside, like because it's an ARC. I've never had a physical ARC before that's actually before the book comes out, so I don't know if I feel like I shouldn't show you anything on the inside, but there's like some maps and stuff. I actually because I don't have a final copy, it doesn't have the like map of New York, which I wasn't planning on buying a final copy because I don't buy brand new books, but I might just for all the extra stuff inside if I really like it, and I think I'm going to. But it's a little confusing because there's a lot of different families, and all these families are descended from one of the great Greek heroes. I'll be honest, my knowledge of Greek mythology is completely limited to Percy Jackson. If I didn't learn it in Percy Jackson, I don't know it. So, and a lot of this is not Percy Jackson, but each of the families is descended from a different Greek hero. She's from Perseus, and she's the last of her line. And then there's Theseus, and that's the line. See, I need to brush up on my Greek mythology. Theseus is from the Minotaur. I'm not saying that right. The Odysseys from Audeus. I don't know how to say that. The Trojan horse, and they're also Aphrodite's family somehow. I thought they were gone. I don't know. There's Cadmos, which is where Ares is. And then the house of Achilles is the Accolades, and they right now are dealing with Apollo, I think. And then the house of Perseus has Poseidon, or now is the Tidebringer. It's because these families they steal power from the gods, and so there's only like 2 original gods left. There's Athena, and I think Apollo was up until recently, but there's only a couple original gods left. Everyone else has been taken. The power from the god has been taken, and the human has taken it and has become a god. So it's really interesting. It's just a lot of mythology being thrown at me that I'm trying to keep track of, and it just I'm having to refer to these maps in the front and in the back a lot, because in the back there's a character guide about like just a cast of characters. So I'm trying to keep up, but I am enjoying it. I'm going to read that more tonight and hopefully finish it tomorrow. We'll see. I don't know. I'm so behind on my TBR for the Disney Channel readathon. I actually don't know when the Disney Channel readathon ends. Does it end tomorrow? Did I totally fail at it? I think I might have. It's fine. This is what I do when I try and set TBRs for myself. I can't follow TBRs. I try. When it's like a month-long TBR, that's one thing. Like, I think I'll be okay with my December TBR because I'm in the mood for historical romances, but I just would stop doing readathons. I never finish them, but whatever. I did get a little bit of reading done this week. Also, I was a little bit distracted this week because a couple of days ago, Taylor Swift dropped another album this year. Can you believe it? 2 in 1 year. 2 in like less than 6 months. It's insane. So I have been really caught up in the excitement of that, and I absolutely love the album. I think some of my favorite songs, let's see, I also got a new phone, which is really exciting. I haven't gotten a new phone like 3 years. I'm gonna say now I hate that there's not a home button, but I can't change Apple's mind. I got the 12 Pro. I was gonna get the 12, but this had more gigabyte storage, and then I like the idea of a bigger phone because I had the 8 Plus before, but I really don't want like the huge 12 Max. It's way too big. But just for reference, because I think it should be said, some of my favorite songs off Evermore right now. Willow, which is the one with the music video, absolutely stunning, so magical. I really like Champagne Problems. I really like Coney Island. I like the feature on that. The National is really good. Cowboy Like Me is really good because Mumford & Sons, the main guy, is the one doing backing vocals. Like, I don't know how that happened, but I really, really love his voice, so I like that one a lot. Marjorie literally breaks my heart, but it's so beautiful. And then Evermore, the title song of the album, is so good too. That has Bon Iver on it. So I am loving that. So I am very excited that came out, and it's definitely, I feel like it's going to just be the soundtrack for this book in my head because I've been listening to it so much. So I'm going to close out this reading vlog. I hope you come back and see all my really fun December and January content. I have a lot of plans that I'm very excited about. I hope you enjoyed this reading vlog. Like, share, subscribe, and all that fun stuff, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!